Here at Legends Boxing Gym, catching up with heavyweight contender Dominic Breazeale. Here comes trouble.
Yeah.
Dom, you're facing Bermane Stiverne November 4th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. How is that training camp going?
Man, I'm excited, man. Training camp is great. It's been underway. We got some great sparring in the last couple of days, and just looking forward to the days narrowing in. The worst part about training camp is I gotta wait so long to get in the lights and shine.
You just fought one great amateur standout by the name of Joe Joyce today. Tell the audience what that sparring session was like.
Oh man, to have a guy like Joe Joyce in here, man, silver medalist from the last Olympic Games is phenomenal. Anytime you can get an Olympian to come in the ring and just kind of work with you and do some rounds, man, we got some phenomenal rounds in. Big puncher, big guy like me, 6'7", 250 pounds. It's just it's world-class experience, you know. I know I'm getting ready for a guy like Bermane Stiverne, but when I spar a guy like that, it makes Bermane Stiverne real easy.
Bermane Stiverne is a guy that hasn't been active as much. His last fight was almost a couple years ago. Do you think he'll have some ring rust come fight night against you on November 4th?
You know, do I think he's going to have some ring rust? I don't know, but I hope he does for sure. Outside of that, man, you got to respect a guy like that, WBC heavyweight champ. At one point, he was considered the best, the great, the one that everybody's looking up to. So I respect him going into the fight. I respect any man that gets in the square that goes into a fight. But comes, Saturday night, November 4th, I'm going to be the man to shine.
In your last fight, you fought Izu Igonu, a great experience for you. He dropped you in the 4th round. You came back and knocked him out in the 5th round. Was that a great experience for you to, get up the canvas and get the TKO in the 5th round against Izu
Yes,
Igonu?
definitely, hands down. Big up to Izu Uganda, man. He did some phenomenal things in that fight. He came to win that night, man. I knocked him down. He knocked me down. Of course, I came out victorious with the final knockdown. But when you get in the ring with a guy who's 17-0, he brings a lot of experience to the table. He brings a lot of courage and just wilderness about him, and he brings it, man. Round after round, minute after minute, second after second. So I was in for a dogfight, and I came out victorious, and God willing, it continues to go that way.
I know you'll be keeping a close eye on the main event on November 4th, Deontay Wilder against Luis Ortiz. How do you see that fight shaping up?
Deontay Wilder is a pretty good fighter. He hasn't showed me much in the last couple of fights outside of the same thing he does over and over. Whereas, the Cuban King Kong, man, is a big puncher. He fights like a big puncher. He brings the pressure, and on top of that, he's got a great amateur pedigree. He's been waiting at the doorstep to get a shot at the title fight. I don't think he's gonna let this one pass him by. So I actually see King Kong knocking Deontay Wilder out.
When Bermane Stiverne fought Deontay Wilder for the WBC championship belt, they went 12 rounds. A fighter like you against Bermane Stiverne, do you see this fight going the distance?
I don't see the fight going the distance, man. I got a big right hand, I got a big left hook. I plan on landing those shots a lot on November 4th. But at the same time, man, you can't take it from a guy who's been the distance several times. He's been in the heat of the moment a ton of different times, and I'm going to give him everything I got, round after round, minute after minute. And if he's still there at the end of the 12, man, I gotta give him kudos because I'm gonna bring every ounce of energy I've got in my life.
The heavyweight division's getting a great exposure on November 4th because, Wilder's Ortiz's fight is being televised on Showtime. Your fight will be televised on Showtime Extreme. How does it feel to be one of the most important fights of the year on a Showtime telecast?
Oh, it's always great. Anytime the heavyweight era is in charge or running or talked about it makes boxing that much better. When fighters go to see fighters fight, middleweights, welterweights, whatever it may be, you're in for a ton of boxing class. At the same time, when you go to a heavyweight show like this card is going to be, where there's multiple heavyweights on the same card, you're in for some great boxing. You're in for some big time KOs. So I'm fortunate enough to be a part of it, and hopefully November 4th, I get my big KO, and I'm talked about for months on end.
Most important thing you learned from your defeat to Anthony Joshua, Dominic, what was it?
The most important thing I learned is I'm big, I'm strong, but there's somebody out there bigger, stronger. I learned a lot more from that one fight, that one defeat, than I did from my 18
previous 16 fights.
Previous wins. Only because of the fact that you win a fight, there's a lot of times you don't go back and study your film as much as you should. With the Joshua fight, I still watch it now. I'm getting ready for Bermane Stiverne, and I was just watching it last night to see what I was doing wrong in the 1st round compared to what I was doing wrong in the 5th round. So I'm learning a lot more from that one fight, that one moment in life that I did all those other 18 fights that I won. And it's just, I'm glad it happened when it happened. I'm glad it happened against a guy who's, a gold medalist, IBF world champ, and probably going to go on to fight me for my WBC belt when I get it, right?
Right. The WBC, you're currently ranked by the WBC and WBO. WBO heavyweight champ is Joseph Parker. Who would you like to get a shot at first? Would you like a rematch against, going for the WBC belt with Wilder or Ortiz, or get a shot at WBO belt with Joseph Parker?
You know, in this instance, man, put them both in the ring. I'll get all three of them in the ring. Keep the King Kong in there, Deontay Wilder, and Joseph Parker. Put them all in there. Let's get a Royal Rumble going on.
Yeah.
No, you know, in the situation I stand, I'm going to take it fight by fight right now. I got Bermane Stiverne in front of me. I know it's going to be a WBC title eliminator. He's ranked number 1. I'm ranked number 8. So I'm going to go with the standings. I'm in a fortunate enough event to be in a situation where I can fight for the WBC title. And you know, for the last 5 years, that's my mindset. It's been WBC title, but you know, heavyweight champ. Of course, in the long run, the undisputed champ. But right now, it's one belt at a time. I called Joseph Parker out several times, and he beat around the bush. Now he's over there fighting Fury. I understand it. I respect it. But at the same time, when the cream of the crop rises to the top, everybody's got to fight each other.
A big win over Bermane Stiverne November 4th. What would that mean to you, to your career, Dominic?
Oh, it's everything. Every fight is a big win for me. But fighting a guy like Bermane Stiverne, a recognized heavyweight champ, former heavyweight WBC champ, it's huge. You know, it's one thing to beat a guy that's undefeated. It's another thing to beat a guy who's been there, done that, got back up, and did it again. You know, to get a win is going to be great. To get a knockout over a guy like Bermane Stiverne is going to be even better.
Thank you for your time, Dominic. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Heavyweight contender Dominic Breazeale against Bermane Stiverne November 4th on Showtime Extreme. Thank you, Dominic.
Appreciate it.